This is maybe my favorite feature on any smart lock today. Now, we all want to know that our family is safe and secure. With this new Lock Pro from SwitchBot and their keypad touch, a family member can input an emergency passcode or even just use a specific fingerprint scan to notify you that they're in danger or in an emergency situation. What you have to do is set a specific passcode or fingerprint as an emergency one in the SwitchBot app. When you go to create a new passcode or fingerprint, you can pick that type. And then when someone goes to use that to unlock your door, notifications will go out on all of your phones. Anyone in your family who has the SwitchBot app will receive the notification. They can also receive email notifications if you designate an email to receive these notices. And this is all a completely secret and discreet way for them to let you know that you need to respond. Now, this is one of the many unique features that you can have in your home today. It's one of our home automation ideas that we're going to show you as we introduce you to the new SwitchBot Lock Pro. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and my goal on the channel is to save you time and money on your journey to live smarter. So if you like that idea, hit the subscribe button now, would you? I have to thank the folks over at SwitchBot who have always helped us on the channel. They help us pay our bills, help us pay our team members, and their support and their sponsorship of videos just like this one help us to create home automation ideas like the ones we're going to continue with right now. That keypad touch, this is it right here. It's such an important accessory to get if you're going to look at the SwitchBot Lock Pro. It's important for a few reasons and a few of our ideas. It's not a pricey add-on, at least not as far as I'm concerned. Now, one of the most asked about features with any smart door lock is, does it have a keypad and can I put in passcodes to get in my home? But one of the statements or questions that I get from those of you watching today, with that passcode, is my neighbor or someone watching, are they going to be able to lift that passcode after watching me a few times? Well, SwitchBot calls this feature virtual passcodes, and we do see it on some other smart locks available today. But what it means is you can embed your actual passcode inside of a larger sequence. That means you can press a lot of buttons very quickly, and it would be very hard for anyone to see what your combination is. Now, obviously, you still got to be careful about the visibility of you pressing all those, but it's an extra layer and a good idea to have on any smart lock. Now, this is one of the most useful things about smart door locks, but it does require a keypad on the other side of the door. Now, whenever you have someone coming over who needs to do maintenance on your home, or maybe just needs to drop off something, you can issue a temporary or a one-time passcode. These are easy to set up in the SwitchBot app and only take seconds. But that means they can access your home just that one time, or just for that period of time. But for me, that's not the kind of security I want. I want to know what they did in my home or what they're doing. One of the great features of SwitchBot and their cameras that you see sitting over here is that when you unlock the door, you can have that camera pan to the location. You can also have it take a recording. This can also be done in Samsung SmartThings, Amazon, and Apple HomeKit. Now, with Amazon and Apple, you'll need to use scenes from your camera maker, and there's only a few with Apple, but there are a bunch of options with Amazon. If you're looking to set something like this up in those platforms, feel free to ask me in the comments below if your camera can do that, and I'll answer the best I can. One of the biggest concerns with smart door locks is that you might get locked out of your home. It's kind of new technology, and in the past they've been unreliable. Now, to explain how home automation companies have moved past that problem, I have to explain a little bit how this specific door lock works and some of the features that it has. You're likely to be stuck outside with your door lock not opening for one of two reasons. Either the smart door lock can't communicate or the device's batteries are dead. SwitchBot's lock has Bluetooth as its primary method of communication, and I would suggest that you should have that at least as a backup method on any smart lock today. The reason I say that is because if it can't communicate with the rest of your smart home, you can still use the app on your smartphone, and its Bluetooth feature will open your door lock. That keypad touch, if you buy one of those, it also works through Bluetooth. It's directly paired to the lock. So with that keypad touch, you have the fingerprint, the passcode, and these black NFC cards that you can use to open your door. With that direct pairing, they're all gonna work no matter what's happening with the network inside of your home. Other smart door locks can be tied to their smart home hubs or then your Wi-Fi network, and those can fail, or at least do so often enough to be a concern. And let's pretend for a second that everything does fail with this. Since this is a retrofit and not a full replacement, you're actually just replacing the thumb turn inside of your home. You're not replacing the actual lock, and therefore you can still use the physical key, the same one you had before. And I spoke about battery power being a concern. Now, the SwitchBot's lock uses 4 AA batteries. In May, they are slated to be releasing a dual rechargeable battery pack. You would then be able to remove one side of that battery pack to recharge it while the other continues to power your lock. That should provide you indefinite power. And of course, all the modern smart locks are giving you lots of notifications before they or their keypads are running out of battery power. And from my personal experience, I've had a keypad touch on the outside of my home for 2 winters now. It's connected to SwitchBot's original door lock. Now, this keypad has never really been a problem, although in very cold conditions of -30 Celsius or lower, the fingerprint scanner here, it can struggle. That's where those other options are so important. Now, before we go on to the next automation idea, I think it's important to understand that this door lock, and most of them out there today, requires a hub for almost all of the automation ideas after this point in the video. SwitchBot sells the Hub Mini and the Hub 2. Both of those are relatively inexpensive, but what they do is they open up connectivity to Apple HomeKit and Apple Watches through Matter, Google Home, Amazon, Samsung SmartThings, and more using just this little guy. Now, this hub sits on your home's Wi-Fi, so those things can break down those other connections if the Wi-Fi or your internet connection goes down. In the future, because of that word Matter, you should continue to get additional options for other smart home platforms to control this lock. That's an important thing for the future, and it does require one of these hubs. You also require the hub for any of the automations that I show you inside of SwitchBot's app, so it's pretty much required. And that's not to be confused with simple settings though, because those can always just be changed based on the Bluetooth connection. Same with the keypad touch and many other accessories that SwitchBot sells. They don't need a hub, they just directly connect. Now, let's talk about some of the physical design, because it leads to an important idea for people that struggle with hand dexterity. Now, SwitchBot's lock is going to be compatible with almost every type of lock out there today. And in fact, SwitchBot's offering a 3D printing service to help you get compatibility with your lock if it doesn't happen to fit what you have. Now, this is a bit of a deeper door lock, and part of the reason for that are the AA batteries. I still think that was a good decision, but the other reason for the depth is this manual turn for the lock. I thought it was just a manual turn, and then I found this feature called Quick Key. It's a setting inside of SwitchBot's app that allows you to set whether or not pushing Quick Key allows the device to lock, unlock, or both. And you can set it to a double press like I have if you'd rather avoid the odd mistaken single press. I really like that for people who might have their hands full, or again, have that dexterity issue. Now, if you'd rather use your voice, well, Amazon, Google, and Apple can all use their voice assistants to unlock and lock the door. With Amazon and Google, you'll require a PIN, so that has some extra security on it, while Siri is just using your voice. Now, Google and Amazon can't use their apps or their automation systems to unlock the door for you automatically because of that PIN. We'll talk about doing that in a moment, that automatic unlock, but you can create this custom command in order to request the lock be opened. You'll have to be present in order to hear your voice assistant asking you for the PIN, and then you'll have to respond to that though. But one of my favorite devices right now is the Amazon Echo Hub. Listen, it's not perfect. I've heard some complaints about speed of that device, but it brings up this interface for typing in that PIN code if you go to unlock it on this device. It's another great way that you can quickly deal with your door lock if someone comes to your door. I live in Canada, and I know that some people think we all leave our doors open for the world, but it's a different world than it was when I was a kid. So I like my door to be locked, but I don't want to have to think about it. SwitchBot has an auto lock and a relock feature in their settings. Both of those, you just have to decide how long you'd like to wait, and then you can get notifications from the app whenever the door is unlocked and locked too. So this ensures that your door is locked and closed after a few minutes. There's also a dual locking feature, which means if you have other SwitchBot locks around your home, or you have two doors, or you have two locks in a row that you would like to tie together, you can do that with the SwitchBot Lock and SwitchBot Lock Pro. But just keep in mind that if you try to use a SwitchBot Lock with a SwitchBot Lock Pro, it's not going to work. They have to be the same exact model. Now, you can also do those automatic locking features using Samsung SmartThings and Amazon if you'd like. I think most of the time that auto lock feature in the SwitchBot app is the best choice, but if you don't happen to have this lock, then those might be a good option for you. I'm going to show you a couple of automations that can warm up your home, literally and figuratively, when you come in the door. Now, SwitchBot, Apple, Amazon, and Samsung SmartThings can all create automations that turn on lighting and maybe your thermostat in the evenings. You could set periods of time that these automations work, and therefore, you only have lighting come on when you need it. You can also light up the porch lights outside your door for visitors if you want to do that. Now, during the day, the same platforms can open up curtains and blinds and other window coverings to brighten the space. And then they can close them when you leave. One of the most important automations for any family is to have the door unlocked when somebody who is verified arrives. With today's state of home automation, I don't especially like these automations. I know a lot of you are asking about them, and that's why it's in this video, but I don't think that a phone entering an area is a good enough confirmation that your door should be open. That would also eliminate that emergency idea that I opened the video with. However, for those of you that really want to do this, you can do it with Apple HomeKit and Samsung SmartThings. If you're using Samsung, it's just going to be based on one person arriving. But Samsung and Apple can all set their automations for locking and unlocking the door based on specific individuals. Or they can be set based on the first or last person to arrive or leave your home. Now, as part of an upcoming ebook, we're going to have some additional automation ideas for you. And there I will talk about my preferred method for automating the unlocking of your door. I think we have to do this with a couple of confirmations, not just my phone's here. And unfortunately, you're going to need a pretty serious smart home hub to do it right, in my opinion. Now, I hope these automation ideas have helped you. If you'd like to check out the new SwitchBot Lock Pro, you can do so in the links below. There are pretty good updates with this one versus the original lock, and I'm definitely enjoying the reliability and the strong feature set from this. It's definitely something I can recommend for those of you who are already using SwitchBot products. And for those of you that aren't, this is a really good one to get into their system on. And otherwise, you can get more home automation ideas with the playlist that's up on screen now. This will help you to automate your life, your home, and of course, save you time and money. So check out that playlist. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and of course, live smart.